Welcome to my kitchen. I make soup broth by the gallon, and it's a lot of soup. And yes, we do eat a lot of soup, but I like to do other things with it. And today I'm going to show you how I use it to roast vegetables. I like to batch cook because it saves time. So I'm going to be using 3 very large pans. And to those pans, I will be adding a pound of Brussels sprouts, 2 large bell peppers, 1 red and 1 yellow, 2 large carrots, 3 red onions, a half a pound of mushrooms, and 3 10-ounce bags, 1 of cauliflower, or 2 of cauliflower, and 1 of broccoli. One of the things that most other videos on roasting vegetables will tell you is to cut them evenly in even-sized pieces because they'll cook more evenly. And the truth is, I don't obsess over that. I just cut them up. The onions, you don't even have to worry about pulling them apart. And just cut them down the middle. And they're not completely even. I just want them really in bite-sized pieces. And I like getting it done rather than obsessing over cutting them into the right size pieces. And of course, I'm saving my scraps, and they're going into the scrap bag so I can make more stock. So essentially, you have the same things with the peppers. I just cut them up, and I don't really worry about getting the sizes even. They'll cook just fine. Sometimes some will be a little crunchier than others, but one of the reasons, since I changed my diet and started keeping my weight down, I really miss the convenience of being able to come home from a hard day, throw a frozen pizza in the oven, and call it dinner. And if I have a lot of roasted vegetables on hand, I can make a nice healthy dinner. And it's filling and satisfying, and I haven't spent an hour and a half obsessively chopping vegetables. And that was the thing that derailed me. I tried a couple of times early on to go plant-based, but it didn't work, because I just got so sick of spending hours in the kitchen. I mean, I love to cook, but I was spending 2 hours a day washing and chopping vegetables. So I don't do that anymore. And you may compromise something on flavor, but it's worth it to just get it done and have it available. So that's pretty. These Brussels sprouts are pretty big. So I am going to cut them into 4 pieces. I do find that the Brussels sprouts take a little bit longer to cook than, this is a medium-sized one, so I'm only doing that in 2. But Brussels sprouts take a little bit longer to cook than other vegetables, so I do cut them into slightly smaller pieces. Also, they tend to overwhelm the vegetables, so I don't put too many in. It just sometimes seems like you have a lot of Brussels sprouts. So I have all my vegetables cut, and I've got my 3 pans here, 3 large pans, and this is the biggest and this is the smallest, so I will put the most vegetables, obviously, in the biggest pan, but I'm not too worried. And put those back. About the distribution. So I didn't cut up the broccoli. What I'm going to do is just sort of dump it in and break it up into bite-sized chunks. And I feel another kitchen hack is make it easy on yourself. How many times have you bought broccoli or any kind of vegetables totally with the intention of cutting them up and doing something with them, but they sit in your fridge and your good intentions go away and the vegetables get bad. So just, and if buying pre-cut, pre-cleaned vegetables helps you eat more vegetables, then I think you should do it. And we've got cauliflower yet. Just a spoon. Don't scrimp on the spices. And because I have three different pans, I'm going to cook with 3 different flavor profiles. The first one, the biggest one, is going to get a very basic with garlic, parsley, and oregano. It'll go with just about anything. The medium pan will get an Italian seasoning, and the middle pan will get, it's the smaller one, will get a spicy shawarma flavor profile. So everything has garlic, and this is just your basic powdered garlic, and don't scrimp on it. I put a lot on. Okay, and then the next, I have this shawarma seasoning that I got at Whole Foods, and it's salt-free and really quite good. And I'm going to put that on the smaller. It's got garlic and shawarma seasoning. And again, don't scrimp. And then the oregano and parsley will go on the medium pan. And the Italian seasoning will go on the larger pan. Don't ask me how much I put on, I don't know. But when I was doing the research for this video, I actually did measure my broth. The larger pan gets a cup, so you're not using a huge amount. And I just want to spread it around. Make sure everything is moist. And the medium-sized pan gets 3/4 of a cup. And the smaller pan gets half. And then you want to stir it up so that all these spices are coated on the vegetables. On their own. All there is to it. I'm going to put these in the oven now. I have the oven set at 385. I'm sorry, I have the oven set at 375. And I'm going to set the timer for 15 minutes. And I've saved the leavings. And they're going right in my scrap bag for my next broth. After 15 minutes, I pull each pan out of the oven and just give it a stir so it doesn't dry out. So I thought I'd give you a preview of our dinner tonight. And I've just turned the oven off. The vegetables are done. What I have here is a can of black beans and simply a jar of tomato sauce, salt-free. And I'm pouring this over the black beans, the sauce. I'm not even measuring. I'm going to stir that around. And then I've got this mole negro sauce that I bought at Whole Foods. And it's very concentrated. So I'm just going to put in, like, there's not much left in the jar, but 2 spoonfuls into the tomato sauce and stir that in. Then I'm going to heat that up in the microwave. In the meantime, I've already cooked a large container of grains. I always have a container of whole grains in the fridge. This is brown rice, whole barley, and wheat and whole wheat berries. And it's about a cup of brown rice, half a cup of whole barley, and a half a cup of whole wheat berries that I put in the Instant Pot and cooked. And this will be grain for us probably for a week. I'm just going to heat up the beans. And got my bowls here. And just a nice pile of rice. Now I just pulled the larger pot of vegetables out of the oven, and these are the basic, and that's why it's versatile enough. I didn't use any Mexican seasonings, so I'll just put a little chili powder on. This is a fast meal. I have my whole grains already cooked. And I just heated up beans with some sauce that I made quickly. You could use salsa. I generally don't use salsa anymore because it's too salty. Much less salt with this little bit of this mole negro. And it's going to be half the beans on each generous portion of vegetables. And the nice thing about these vegetables is you can just eat as many as you want. We snack on them too. The vegetables are finished and they look absolutely luscious. And you can see this is the shawarma pan, and this is the pan that we've already eaten for dinner. Yes, the big pan. We ate most of it. It's just so good. And we'll probably have this rest of this done, if not tomorrow, at least by noon the following day. So the vegetables have cooled, and I've got them packed up here and labeled so I know which flavor profile is which. And we've had a quick meal, and in fact we've eaten a good quarter of them at least. And I hope you'll try this. Remember, subscribe to if you'd like to see more videos like this one, you can click on the subscribe button and give it a thumbs up if you think you're going to try it. You can click on the notification bell and you'll know every time I upload a new video. Thanks for watching.